Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm showing my step-by-step process on how to make stickers with print and cut on the Cricut. I made a video a couple years ago, but decided I needed an updated one. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you subscribe to my channel if you are new here, and let's get into the video. First, I'm going to grab all of my images that I'm going to be using for my stickers, and in this video I'm using Cricut Images. So I'll come up here and click that. Then I'm just going to start searching for the ones that I want. I search for watermelon first and it comes up with a whole bunch of different images, and I'm just going to look through and pick the one that I want to use. I'm going to select this one, and you can see it shows up at the bottom right corner. I don't have to hit insert images yet. I can go through and find all the ones that I want first. You can see that this image has the A here. That means that it's a part of the Cricut Access membership. So if you do pay for Cricut Access, then you can use all of these images. If you don't, each image has a charge. Most of them are 99 cents, I believe, but you can also find images on other websites. I really like the Design Bundles website. They have tons of images and they usually have really good sales. So I can leave a link down below for that if you don't have Cricut Access. Now I'm going to search for a few other images. You can see once again that I selected it and it'll bring it down here. I have all the images that I want to use. Now I'm just going to select Insert Images. Now I'm just going to move all of these over. And the next thing that I'm going to do is use the new Offset tool in Cricut Design Space to have these have a background. I've used Cricut shapes in the past, like circles, but now that Cricut has the offset feature in here, I am going to use that. So what I'm going to do is grab the watermelon first, then I'm going to go up to Offset. And actually, I'm going to click out of this because it's hard to see it when it's right underneath that window there. So I'm going to bring it down. Then I'm going to click on Offset again. You can see this really thin outline around the watermelon. Now you can decide how big or small you want the offset shadow to be. And I think I might make it just a tiny bit smaller. And I'll hit apply. It automatically made the shadow layer black, but I want to make it white for my stickers. So I'm going to go over to my layers panel and you can see where it's highlighted. This is that offset shadow layer that we made. And I'm going to go up to my color and I'm going to change it to white. It's hard to see it because the background of Cricut is white. So I'm actually going to change the color. I'm going to click on blank canvas down here. And at the way top, you can change the color. So I'm just going to make this kind of a lighter blue color to make it easier to see it. You can see that the watermelon and the offset layer are two separate layers. I'm going to hit undo on my keyboard. So now you're going to want to piece all these together. For print and cut, you'll want to flatten everything together. If I select on the watermelon, you can see it's a whole bunch of different layers, and the Cricut is going to try to cut all of these layers, but we only want it to cut on the outside of this white part. So what I'm going to do is highlight over the whole thing. If you look over in the layers panel, you can see we have the watermelon selected and the offset selected. Also, this watermelon is grouped together, so it has all these layers, but at the moment it's grouped together, so that's why it let us move the whole thing all together, if that makes sense. But now what we're going to do is come down here and hit flatten. And now that will make it all one layer. So I'll show you another example with these other ones as well. I'm just going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to grab my Hello Summer. Now for this one, I don't really want the letters to be black. I actually want them to be a blue color and maybe match with this. So I'm going to select on the SVG. And if you come down into the layers panel, you can see there's two different layers. I'm going to hit ungroup. Then I'm going to select on the Hello Time. It looks like the whole thing is selected, but if you look in the layers panel, it's just the words Hello Time, and if I move it over, you can see it's just that. And I'm just going to make this a blue color. Okay, I like that. Now what I'm gonna do is group this whole thing back together again. And I like to just drag over the image to select the whole thing. You just wanna make sure everything in the image is selected, and I'll hit group. Now I'm gonna go up to my offset. It automatically goes to 0.25, but I'm gonna bring this one down as well. I'm gonna bring it down to the same number as the watermelon, and I'll hit apply. Now, one thing with this, when I move this out of the way, you can see that this offset has these different cutouts in here. And if I were to flatten this together, it will still cut around these outside pieces, and I don't want it to do that. And the Cricut offset does this sometimes. Since I don't want the Cricut to cut out these little holes and pieces, what I'm gonna do is make sure that this is selected. Then I'm gonna go down to my contour button. And the contour button is basically like an eraser tool. It's super helpful in Cricut Design Space. You can either go through and select each one of these, or you can go in here and select it, or what you can do is go down and hit hide all contours, and it will do it all for you. There's always one piece that it won't select, and this is the piece that we wanted to keep, so that is perfect. Then you can hit the X or just click out of it, and you can see it fills in those holes there, which is great because we don't want the Cricut to cut that out in our sticker. Now I'm gonna bring Hello Summertime back up. I'm gonna highlight over both layers, and I'm going to center it. I'll go to Align, Center. Now I'm gonna go back and select on my black offset and change it to white. And there's our other sticker piece. I'm gonna highlight over this whole thing. You can see it's all selected in the layers panel, the image and the offset, and I'm going to come down and hit flatten. I'm gonna do the same thing for these other ones. I'm gonna go up to offset, and that one actually kept it at 0.194, so I'm just gonna hit apply. I'm going to change the offset layer to white, and then I'm gonna select over both of these and hit flatten. Once again, this one has these pieces in here, so I'm just gonna contour those out again. I'm just gonna hit show all contours, click out of it, then I am going to center this. This looks a little weird too because this pineapple has a black outline, but once I change the color of the offset, it'll look better. So I'm just gonna center this, then I am going to change the offset to white, and that looks much better. So now I'm gonna highlight over all of these again, and I'll hit flatten. Looking at these pineapples, I just don't like it as much as these other images, so I'm just going to delete them. I decided to add in one more image, some flip-flops and sunglasses, but I don't love the color of the sunglasses, so I'm gonna change those. And to do that, here is the SVG, and here's all the different layers. Right now it's all grouped together, but you actually don't have to ungroup to change the color. All you have to do is select on the layer. So I'm gonna select on this outer green color of the sunglasses. Then I'm gonna come up to my color and I'm gonna change it to pink. And I think I'm just gonna leave the inside the dark blue. The flip-flop colors match pretty well with the rest of the images, so I'm just gonna leave that. Now I'm gonna go up to my offset and move it in just a little bit. Then I'll hit apply. And honestly, I think the black actually looks kind of cool with all of these images, but I'm gonna change it to white. And I forgot to flatten it, so I'm gonna hit undo. And also, this one again, I need to contour it. So I'll just select that piece. I'll bring this back up and I'll center both of these. Then while they're both selected, I'll come down and hit flatten. With Print Thin Cut, you can only cut as large as 9.25 inches by 6.75 inches. So what I've been doing is grab a shape, and I'll grab my square. then I am going to make that the largest size that Cricut can cut. We'll hit enter. Now what I'm going to do is bring this to the back. So I'm actually going to just slide it down. Sometimes I just like to do that. You can also right click. Also, when you look at all of your stickers, you can see that everything is one layer now. So we have all of our images flattened and they're all their own layer. But now what I'm going to do is just move these into this little box here. I'm rearranging these a lot, but I'm trying to make it fit so I can save as much space on my sticker paper as possible. I think that looks good. There's still all this room that you can still add images to. I could actually duplicate these and add some more, but I'm just going to leave it at this. I also left a little bit of space between each image because I am going to turn the bleed on, which will give it a little thicker outline on all of these. So I just wanted to make sure that that wouldn't interfere with that at all. Now I'm going to delete my rectangle. Now I'm ready to make the stickers. Once again, each piece is flattened, so you'll want to make sure to flatten all the layers of each image. But the next step is also really important. You're going to want to highlight over everything and hit attach. If I click on make it after I arranged it all like that, it's going to put it in a totally different order, which this will waste some of the paper because you can see all the odd spacing. So I'm going to hit cancel and I'm going to highlight over everything. You can see everything is highlighted in the layers panel, and I'm going to select attach. Now I'm going to click on make it again, and you can see that it's lined up exactly how I had it on the screen. Since the background of this paper is white, you can't see that offset, but it is there. Now I'm just going to hit continue. Then I'm going to hit send to printer. I have an Epson Workforce 7710. You can use any inkjet printer for this project. It'll automatically come up with the bleed on. I see so many people turning the bleed off, but I highly recommend keeping it on. It gives it a more accurate cut, so I don't think there's ever a time that I've taken the bleed off. The other important step is you'll want to select Use System Dialog. I never skip this step either, and I'll show you why. I'm going to hit print. And it's not going to print right away. You can see it's coming up with your printer settings. I'm going to go to my media type. Instead of having auto select, I'm going to go down to photo. I'm actually going to choose high gloss paper. Photo glossy paper, it's probably would work the same. It'll automatically switch my quality to best, which you want to make sure that the quality is on best. When I had tested the sticker paper out for the first time, I switched it to best, but I didn't switch the media type to the glossy paper. And there was actually a big difference in the quality. The image was so much brighter, and for some reason, I noticed that the ink smeared a little bit if it wasn't set to the gloss paper. So now I'm just going to hit print. I'm using sticker paper from Nito. The one I'm using is super glossy waterproof. They have different options on their website and I can link them down below, but I love this one for stickers. I place my paper upside down in my inkjet printer. You'll want to check which way your printer will print before you put your paper in the tray, just to make sure it prints on the glossy side. Now I'm going to select my material. I'm going to use printable vinyl. So I'm just going to type that in here, and I'll just select that. I've noticed the printable vinyl setting gives it that kiss cut where you're able to take the sticker off of the backing instead of cutting through the sticker and the backing, which is what I prefer for sticker sheets. So I selected printable vinyl. I'll hit done. Last time I noticed parts of it was still a little stuck to the paper, so I want the Cricut to cut it out a little bit more, so I'm going to select pressure and select more. I'm using my standard grit mat because it has lost a lot of its stickiness, but you might want to use your blue mat if you have a really sticky green mat. I placed the sheet in the top left corner. If you have an Explorer Air 2, it will probably struggle to read the glossy paper, but all you have to do is put clear matte Scotch tape over the black registration lines, and that should help your machine be able to read it. I like to use my brayer tool to press the sheet onto the mat. I do this to try to prevent the ink from smudging. Then I load the mat into the Cricut machine, and it'll first read the black registration lines. This tells the Cricut where to cut, then it'll start cutting out around the design. I'm really loving this sticker paper. I love that it's glossy already, and it just seems to be a good quality paper. This paper is nice and glossy already, but if you are using a matte sticker paper, you can also add clear contact paper or a clear laminating sheet on top of that. Let me know if you want to see a video of me doing that, and I can link the clear laminating sheets down below, but I do really like the sticker paper because you don't have to put anything on top of it. I bend the mat backward to remove the paper off of the mat. I cut around the black lines and used scissors first, then decided to use my paper cutter to have straighter lines. I cut just a little off the top of the sticker, so if you cut the sheet like this, I recommend being careful with that. This sticker paper has a really nice sheen to it, and I feel like it's kind of hard to fully pick that up on camera. I bought this notebook from Amazon. It came in a 2-pack, and I like to use these to make my to-do list, and I decided to put these summer stickers on the notebook. Since it says the sticker paper is waterproof, I decided to test it out on my tumbler. I let it sit for almost 24 hours on the tumbler and ran it under water. It definitely is waterproof. There was no smearing of the ink, but the sticker paper started to pick up off of the water bottle and had some water seeping underneath it. So if you are wanting to use these stickers for tumblers, I would recommend using epoxy over it. These stickers would work really well with epoxy. Here's one more look at the stickers. I think the Nito sticker paper is great quality, and I definitely recommend it. I will link the paper down below. Some other fun things you can make with the sticker paper is labels for jars, to seal envelopes, and photo books for your planner. There's so many fun things you can make with these, and I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you guys have a great day.